It's a sentiment that many people have expressed that Thanksgiving is very underrepresented in media. But I will say sitcoms do a better job of representing the holiday compared to most media. It still isn't represented as much as some other holidays, but some shows try to do Thanksgiving episodes at least semi-consistently. So let's look at the 5 best Thanksgiving episodes. Before we begin, I'll give the one rule of 1 episode per show, because if I didn't, 1 or 2 shows would probably dominate the entire list. Season 4 of Community is usually looked at as lesser than the rest of the show, but I might be one of the only people who actually prefers Season 4 to Season 5. In my opinion, the show goes downhill when the Greendale 7 becomes the Greendale 5, and then the Greendale 4. But I think this episode is a pretty good episode, especially for Thanksgiving. Jeff is meeting his dad for the first time on Thanksgiving, and Britta goes to his dad's house to try to help him. Meanwhile, Shirley invites Troy, Abed, Annie, and Pierce to her house for Thanksgiving. But being there makes them extremely uncomfortable, so they try to hide out and escape in a Shawshank Redemption parody. I think this episode does a good job with Jeff meeting his dad. It's satisfying to see him get mad at his dad, as his dad is pretty bad throughout the episode. He's especially rude to Jeff's half-brother, played by Adam Devine, who is another highlight of the episode, as he has some pretty funny moments and is just a likable character who you feel bad for. 2 problems I do have with the episode is that I wish Jeff's half-brother reappeared, and it feels like they were trying to wrap up everything with Jeff's dad in just 1 episode. One thing that really makes it seem like that is this line at the end.
After that day, Jeff seemed like a man unburdened. He told me about seeing his father again, about how leaving there felt like breaking free of an emotional prison he'd been in for years.
I don't think it's that big of a deal that it's resolved so quickly, but it still seems a little weird. Troy, Abed, Annie, and Pierce at Shirley's house for Thanksgiving is a fun subplot that's balanced well with the A-plot that's a little more serious. This subplot has a fun parody, some good jokes, and a sweet moment at the end. And the episode moves from a sweet ending to that subplot to a sweet ending to the episode, where Jeff says that they should have a Thanksgiving dinner with their real family, each other, which is sweet and a theme that comes up a lot in these episodes. The Brooklyn Nine-Nine Thanksgiving episode I chose for this list is the first one. I feel like episodes like Lockdown and Ava are funnier, but this one fits Thanksgiving a lot more than those 2, as those have very little to do with Thanksgiving. And that's not to call this episode bad at all. The episode still has plenty of good funny moments.
My sad story trumps your insult. Jake! Thank you, Boyle.
In this episode, Amy's trying to have a Thanksgiving dinner where she can ask Holt to be her mentor. But Holt leaves to work on a case, and Jake leaves to help Holt because he hates Thanksgiving. And Terry's food in the precinct gets ruined, leading to him being extremely hungry the entire episode. The episode has some pretty popular and memorable moments, like Boyle Bingo and
My wife was murdered by a man in a yellow sweater.
And is pretty funny throughout. Not as funny as the show goes on to be, but still pretty funny. This episode is also one of, if not the first time we are informed that Terry does in fact love yogurt.
That's a lot of yogurt.
I love yogurt.
The episode also has a sweet ending that's very similar to the last episodes, but this episode also has Jake's toast, giving the episode a heartwarming ending. Another great one to watch for Thanksgiving. One of the most popular running jokes in How I Met Your Mother became Marshall's slaps that he was able to give to Barney whenever he wanted. And I think the show's best Thanksgiving episode is the first time that this running joke combined with Thanksgiving. The episode takes place not too long after Ted and Robin's breakup, and they're having trouble being around each other. When they have to be alone together, it leads to them having sex. Also, Marshall and Lily host their first Thanksgiving, and Marshall has a countdown to when he's going to slap Barney. This is another episode that does a good job of balancing comedy and drama. as the A plot with Ted and Robin is very dramatic but still has some funny moments. However, the B plot between Marshall and Barney provides a lot of good jokes throughout and a fun song at the end. The joke of Bob looking a lot older than he actually is a really good joke that uses How I Met Your Mother's format to its advantage. There's also a sweet ending as to be expected. Modern Family has quite a few Thanksgiving episodes, and my personal favorite is 3 Turkeys. Multiple of Modern Family's Thanksgiving episodes followed this format of various lies, secrets, and misunderstandings leading to a story that gets more and more out of hand as the episode goes on. They did this same plot in Season 7's Phil's Sexy Sexy House and Season 9's Winner Winner Turkey Dinner. I feel like Phil's Sexy Sexy House is better as just an episode, but it doesn't have much to do with Thanksgiving. And that isn't to downplay how good this episode is. In this episode, Phil and Luke are making the turkey, but Claire is secretly making a backup turkey. Meanwhile, Jay and Gloria pretend to be in Mexico while they actually were staying home, but have to hide when everyone comes to their house. This story leads to a lot of good jokes and funny ways that they intertwine, like Phil thinking that he shrunk his turkey and it looking to everyone else like Jay hit Joe's head on the wall.
Fine, see, not crying.
That's not necessarily a good thing.
This is a fast-paced episode with a lot going on and a lot of fun comedic misunderstandings. I'm sure you were all expecting this show to make it to the top spot of the list, but which episode? I'm sure this is an unpopular opinion, but I chose the first one. And if I'm being fair, a lot of the other Thanksgiving episodes are better as Friends episodes, but I feel like this one is the best as a Thanksgiving episode. In this episode, all the characters have Thanksgiving plans that fall apart. Ross and Monica's parents are leaving for Thanksgiving, Rachel misses her flight, Phoebe's celebrating on a different day, Chandler hates Thanksgiving, and Joey's entire family thinks he has an STD. This episode has this charm to it that the first season of Friends has. It's hard to describe, but it just has this nice, pleasant feeling to it. The episode also involves the parade in the plot, which is an element of Thanksgiving that's fun to see integrated into the story, as it usually isn't in most shows. The episode is also very funny and has a lot of good moments, but the thing that makes this episode number 1 on the list is the sweet ending, where the theme of friendship that's the main theme of the show comes up, as they see Ugly Naked Guy with someone, and they say it's nice that he has someone. And after saying that, they look at each other and realize that they're lucky to have each other. And then Chandler says that he's glad all their Thanksgivings went wrong, because if they didn't, they wouldn't all be together. This is a really sweet moment, and it fits this show better than any other show on the list. While I feel some of the later Thanksgiving episodes are funnier, I feel like this one is the best as a Thanksgiving episode due to this sweet ending. So there are my 5 favorite Thanksgiving episodes. I will say most of the shows on this list have plenty of other good Thanksgiving episodes. However, not many shows have Thanksgiving episodes, which is a shame, because these episodes show that you can get a lot of fun and heartwarming stories out of the holiday.